Steve. I'm one of the trail bosses here, and I wanted to go over some of the kit that you see in front of you. This is a great addition to the Off-Road Academy basic recovery class that we taught a few weeks ago, and I would highly recommend if we do it again and you're not familiar with some of this kit and how to use it, to come out to one of those other classes. Starting from this side, we have 2 toe straps, we have a tree saver, we have soft shackles. Over here we have a kinetic recovery rope and this white thing in the middle, which we'll talk about at the end. We also have here some hard shackles, and we'll talk about the use cases for each one of these. So this is a 20,000 pound rated 2-inch toe strap from Smittybilt. This toe strap happens to be from Rhino. It's a 3-inch toe strap, 30 feet long, and it's rated for about 30,000 pounds. This is a tree saver. This is a great tool to use for a lot of different cases. You can use it for a bridle, and most importantly, if you have a winch, you can use this to attach to the base of a tree so you're not tearing up nature while we're out and about. So great use case. Soft shackles you can use to connect the 2 vehicles in some way, either with a toe strap or a kinetic recovery rope. And you may want to use those in conjunction with the hard shackles, because the disadvantage of a soft shackle is while they're very lightweight and easy to use, if your vehicles have sharp edges on them where you're going to connect these two, you'll probably want to use a hard shackle, because those sharp edges will cut into these soft shackles. So if that's the case, you have a sharp edge, like a 90-degree edge, connect your hard shackle first to that point, and then connect the soft shackle to the hard shackle. The kinetic recovery rope is a great tool to do recoveries. The kinetic recovery rope has a stretch factor on average of about 30 to 35%, and you're going to use that kinetic energy that builds up in the rope to ease that recovery, so that stuck vehicle doesn't just get a hard yank and start breaking things. You have a big stretch factor built into that. This particular kinetic rope is rated for a max brake strength of 30,000 pounds and a working load limit of just over 10,000 pounds. You need to factor in the size of your kinetic rope based on your vehicle, because it's sitting in your vehicle. It should be rated for you. So between the two, you would want to use a kinetic rope rated for about the weight of the lighter vehicle. In a kinetic rope's instance, bigger is not always better. It is not better. So keep this rated to your vehicle. So my 4Runner here is rated for about 6,000 pounds, fully loaded. So my kinetic rope here is rated for about 10,000 pounds working low limit. That's a good size limit. It's a 7/8 inch rope. This one particularly comes from Rhino, but look at your manufacturer and they'll pretty much tell you what's the best use case. This is good for a vehicle like my 4Runner or a Jeep. If I'm going to go to a larger vehicle like a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton vehicle, I definitely want to upsize my rope in that case, if that's my base vehicle. So toe straps, they work great if the bogged or stuck vehicle can't move anymore. It's disabled in some way. It can't drive. You've broken a drive shaft, or it's stuck somewhere and the recovering vehicle is on good hard surface. You can attach this to the recovery vehicle, ease forward until you have tension on this toe strap, and then try to pull that vehicle out. You do not ever want to use a toe strap, rule of thumb, as a kinetic rope, just like you would not want to use a kinetic rope as a toe strap. So really need to understand the differences between the two. Now, that brings us to this last item here. This last item here, this particular one comes from Ironman 4x4. ARB also makes one. What is this? Looks like a toe strap, but it's not. It is a recovery or a snatch strap. This works similar to a kinetic recovery rope, but it is not exactly the same. So where a kinetic rope has a 30 to 35% stretch factor, a snatch strap has about a 20% stretch factor. So very similar in the use cases. The problem lies when you look at this and look at this and go, oh, they're the same, and they're not. So please make sure you understand the difference between a toe strap and a snatch strap or recovery strap. This is very similar to that. This should not be used, should not be used in place of this. This will break things. This will work a lot like this. Now, one other downside to consider, ARB's version of the snatch strap in Australia has a label on them that says they are limited to 10 use cases. After that, you can no longer use it because it's lost its ability to stretch. So keep that in mind when you look at these. These are relatively inexpensive when compared to a kinetic recovery rope, but you may have limited number of use cases. Now, that brings us to one other item that we didn't talk about, and that's on the front of my vehicle here, and that is a winch. Now, I have a winch on the front of my 4Runner. This particular winch is rated for 10,000 pounds. Now, let's talk rules of thumb for what we have going on. If I have good traction on my vehicle and I'm recovering somebody, I'm on a hard surface, where the vehicle I need to move is disabled in some way, I will use a tow strap to pull that vehicle to a location where it can maybe get on a flatbed or get towed out. If I have good surface and the bogged down vehicle, I have hard pack surface and I know I have good traction, I can also use a tow strap. I connect the two, I move forward until I have tension on the tow strap, and I ease into the throttle to try and pull him out. If I start to lose traction, the tow strap is probably not going to be the right tool in that case. I'm going to have to switch to something else, like a kinetic rope. Kinetic ropes work great for things like soft sand, gravel, or some other surface that is a little bit looser in terms of traction. So in that case, even if this vehicle has a little bit less traction, I can connect the two. I can ease forward, put tension on, a little bit of tension on this, back off 4 to 8 feet, and then let the bogged down or stuck vehicle know that I'm getting ready to go. I hit my throttle and I go to about 5 or 6 miles per hour, and I let the kinetic rope build up the stretch and use that to pull that other vehicle out. You may have to do that a few times. Just keep in mind that if you do that a lot with this, you need to slow down because there is heat that builds up into this. The use case for this will be very similar to the use case for this. Again, please understand the difference between a snatch or recovery strap and a tow strap. All right, winch. If this is the easiest thing to get to, I'll go straight to my winch. If the vehicle, this is my rule of thumb, if the vehicle is stuck in mud, I'm going straight to my winch. I'm not even going to worry about any of these because I can get good, constant, solid traction or pull on the vehicle with my winch. We haven't talked about a bunch of other things. That's the gist of each one of these use cases. Please come out to one of our Off-Road Academy basic recovery classes, or if you've been to that, we're also working on a Recovery 201 class where we'll talk about some more advanced techniques. Please keep those in mind when you come out. These classes are free. We highly recommend that you come out and get a good hands-on experience with how to use all of this equipment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out on the trail.